So in this video, we are going to learn how to update task status in Google Sheets when updated in ClickUp. Now suppose guys, you have connected ClickUp and Google Sheet. You have created an automation workflow in such a way that whenever a new task is created in ClickUp, the same task is added in your Google Sheet as well. Now you want that when the status of a task is updated in ClickUp as well, you want to also send the updated task status into your Google Sheet. You want to upload those details in Google Sheet as well. So let me tell you how you can automate this process using Pabbly Connect. So in this automation, whenever a task will be updated in our ClickUp account, automatically we will get the details of that updated task with the updated status of that task. Then we will search for that task in the next step in our Google Sheet where we have added all the ClickUp task details. And at last, we will update the task status in our Google Sheet as well, that too automatically. Now, if you want to know how you can set up this automation, for that, you just have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, you will get a free sign-up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. And after reaching to this dashboard, just click on Create Workflow and give this workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as ClickUp to Google Sheets. ClickUp to Google Sheets. And then just click on Create. Now you can see that our workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have 2 different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those 2 concepts, those 2 principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with the trigger window. Now the idea here is, first, we have to connect our ClickUp account with Pabbly Connect in the trigger window, so that every time we update the status of a task in our ClickUp account, automatically the details and the updated status of the task will be received inside Pabbly Connect and this automation workflow will trigger. Then after that, here I have a Google Sheet. And in this Google Sheet, I add the details of each and every task which I have in ClickUp. So we have created another automation workflow using which we add the new task details from ClickUp into the Google Sheet. Now using this automation workflow, we want that whenever we change or update the status of a task in our ClickUp account, the same task status should be changed or updated in Google Sheet as well. So in the next step, after getting the updated task status details inside Pabbly Connect, what we are going to do, we will be searching for that task using the task ID in our Google Sheet. That in our Google Sheet, in which particular row we have that task. And after that, we are going to update the status of the same task in our Google Sheet as well, whose status we have updated in ClickUp. So it's a very simple process. Let's begin. Now here in our trigger window in Choose App, search for ClickUp. Just select it. After selecting ClickUp, here in Trigger Event from this drop-down, select the trigger event as Task Updated. Just select this trigger event over here. After selecting this, just click on Connect and select Add New Connection over here. Now here guys, we have to connect our ClickUp account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, we have to enter the API token of our ClickUp account. Now here you must be thinking how you can get this API token. So to get it, just go to your ClickUp account and at the left bottom corner, you can see this profiles option. Just click on it and go to apps over here. After coming to this apps page, here you can see the API token of your ClickUp account. Just copy it from here and paste it over here in this connection window. And after pasting this, just click on save. Now when we click on save, we will see our ClickUp account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. And after making this connection, the first thing it asks us is the workspace. So here in this drop down, you will get a list of all the workspaces which you have created in your ClickUp account. Right now in my ClickUp account, I have only one workspace created by the name of Pabbly's workspace. So here that's why you can see this is the same workspace over here. After selecting the workspace name from which you want to get the updated task details, we have to select the space as well. That with this particular workspace, in which particular space we want to get the details of the updated task. So I have created 2 spaces in my ClickUp account. The first one is named as space and second one is named as Pabbly Connect. So I want to get the details of the task update from the space named as Pabbly Connect. So here from this drop down, we are going to select that particular space name over here. Then after this, it is asking us for the folder, that we have to select the folder, that the task update from which particular folder we want to receive inside Pabbly Connect. Here we have two folders, integrations and meetings. So I want to get the task update from this folder named as integrations. So we are going to select integration over here. And then we have to select the list as well. As you can see, we have only one list named as new integration. So here from this particular list in our ClickUp account, we will get the details of the updated task status inside Pabbly Connect. Now here guys, there is an important note. Let's read it. It says, if you don't want to select folder name or list name, then turn on the map button corresponding to the field and provide this value with codes in the respective field. So here guys, if you want to get the details of each and every task into a space, like we have this space named as Pabbly Connect, and we want to get the task updates for each and every task in this particular space, what you can do, you can just turn the mapping button on for this folder name field and list name field. And here after turning it on, just clear the default responses from these two fields. And then here what you can do, you just have to enter this value, this tag in double curly braces. Just copy it from here and then paste it over here. And then list name as well. And after pasting this guys, each and every task which we are going to update in this space named as Pabbly Connect, the details of that each and every task update will be received inside Pabbly Connect. So if you don't want to mention the folder name or list name, you can use this tag over here in this mapping field. But right now in this workflow, I will be selecting my folder name and list name as well. So I'll just select this folder as integration, and here in list name, I will select the list that the task update from which particular list we want to receive inside Pabbly Connect. After selecting all of these options, just click on Save and Send Test Request. And when we click on Save and Send Test Request, here you will see that it has changed to Waiting for Response. This means Pabbly Connect is waiting to get some response, some details of a new task update, a new task status update from ClickUp. So what we are going to do, we are going to just update the status of the task in our ClickUp account. For example, I have this task named as new meeting integration setup with test. And here in my Google Sheet, you can see that we have the details of the same event, same task over here as well. So right now the status of this task is call booked, as you can see over here. Now let me change the status. For example, I want to change the status to send assessment. I'll just select the status over here. And after that, here we will see the status of this task is changed. It has now changed to send assessment. And because we have connected our ClickUp account with Pabbly Connect, so we will see in our Pabbly Connect workflow, we will receive the response. And yes, here in this trigger window, you can see that we have received the response. And in this response, you can see the details of the updated task from ClickUp. So here you can see the webhook ID, then you can see the task ID over here. So this is the task ID of the task whose status got changed, whose status got updated in our ClickUp account. And here you can see this is the task ID of the same task which we have added over here. You can see the same task ID in Google Sheet as well. So guys, it is necessary to have the column of task ID. All the task ID should be there in our Google Sheet to set up this automation. Then after task ID, here you can see the username, the email address, then we will scroll down further and then you can see the details of the update as well. So here in this field named as history item 0 field, you can see which field is updated. So the field of status is been updated in our ClickUp task. Then we will scroll down further and here you can see the before status, that what is the status of this task before. So earlier it was call booked, as we have checked over here. The status was call booked earlier. And then we will scroll down further, you can see some other details. And here in after status, you can see the updated, the current status of this task as send assessment. So this means guys, the step 1 of setting up this automation is completed. We have successfully received the details of an updated task status from ClickUp inside Pabbly Connect. But here guys, you will see using this trigger event inside Pabbly Connect of task updated, you will get the updates of a task for each and every details. For example, if you change the name of the task, the description, the assignee, the due date, or any changes in the task, you will get a response inside Pabbly Connect for each and every change. But guys, we want to set up an automation specifically to get the updates of the task only. Only when the update, the task status is updated in ClickUp, only in that case, we want to update the task status in our Google Sheet. We don't want to make the changes in other details of this task in our Google Sheet for any other event. So what we are going to do, whenever the status of the task will be changed in ClickUp, we will get this response of status in this item field ID. So here guys, what we are going to do, we will be adding a filter condition in our automation workflow for this particular label. That if we get the response of status for this field, history item 0 field, if we get the status as the response over here, only in that case, this automation workflow should be continued further. And using this automation, the task status should be updated in our Google Sheet. So whenever we are going to update the status of the task and ClickUp, we will get this response of status in this history item 0 field. So let's add a filter condition over here. For that, we will just scroll down, come to our action window, and here in choose app, select filter over here. After selecting filter by Pabbly, the first thing we have to select is the label, that on which particular label we are setting up this filter condition. So we are setting up this filter condition on the label of history item 0 field. So here in this dropdown, you will see a list of all the responses which we have received from ClickUp of a task being updated. So out of all of these responses, select this response of history item 0 field. So what field is updated? We have selected that label. Then in filter type, it will be equals to, and here in value, we have to add the value as status. Like if we get this text, this response of status over here in value, only in that case, this automation workflow will be continued further. If we update anything else, like if we update the name of the task, the due date or assignee of the task, we will get the response inside Pabbly Connect for those updates as well. But using this automation, we won't be implementing those updates in our Google Sheet. Using this automation, we won't be updating the status in our Google Sheet over here. So after selecting the label, filter type and entering this value, just click on Save and Send Test Request. Now when we click on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that we have received the response as true. The condition is true. Now this is because we have received the response as status for this label. If we receive anything else, it will give us the condition as false and the workflow won't be continued after this step. So we have successfully added this filter condition as well. Now what we want to do? First, we want to search for this task in our Google Sheet. So as we discussed, we have another automation workflow using which we are adding all the new task details. When the tasks are created in ClickUp, we are adding the new task details in our Google Sheet. So we have the task ID, task name, description, start date, due date, status, and the other details as well, which you want, you can add them too. But now what we want to do, we have received the task ID of the task which was updated in ClickUp. So using this task ID, we want to search for this task in our Google Sheet. Like in our Google Sheet, we might be having all the tasks, lots and lots of tasks from ClickUp. So we have to search for the row number we want, that in which particular row the details of this task which was updated, whose response or whose status got updated in ClickUp is existing. So we are going to search for this task over here. And for that, we will just scroll down and click on this Add Action Step button over here. After that, in Choose App, we will search for Google Sheets. Just select Google Sheets over here. After selecting Google Sheets, in Action Event from the drop-down, select the action event as Lookup Spreadsheet Row. Then just click on Connect and select Add New Connection over here. Now here guys, we have to connect our Google Sheets account with Pabbly Connect. So just click on this Sign In with Google button and then select your Google Sheets account in which you have connected or you have created the sheet with all the existing task details. Then just scroll down and click on Continue. And as we click on Continue, we will see our Google Sheets account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After connecting our Google Sheets account, the first thing it asks us is to select the spreadsheet. That in this dropdown, you will see a list of all the spreadsheets which we have created in our Google Sheets account. Out of all of this, from which particular spreadsheet we want to search for task. So we have created this spreadsheet named as ClickUp Task, and in this sheet, we are adding the task details of ClickUp. So we want to search for the task in this particular spreadsheet. So we will be selecting this spreadsheet over here. After selecting the spreadsheet, the next thing it asks us is to select the sheet. So here in this Google spreadsheet, we have only one sheet named as Sheet 1. That's why here in this dropdown, you can see only one sheet as Sheet 1. So we are going to select that over here. Then it is asking us for the lookup column, that in this Google Sheet, in which column we are searching for data. Because using this step of lookup spreadsheet row, first we will search for the row number of the task which was updated. So we have the task ID in this column A. So the lookup column will be column A over here. Because we will be searching for the task using the task ID which we have received from ClickUp in this trigger response. Then after this, it is asking us for the lookup value, that what is the value we are searching for. So we are searching for the task with the task ID which was updated in ClickUp. So from ClickUp responses, we are going to map this response of task ID which we have received. The task ID of the updated task from ClickUp which we have received, we are going to map this task ID over here in lookup value. Because we are looking for the task, we are looking for the row which has the details of this particular task. Then it is asking us include headers in response. So we are going to select true. And here in sort value, we are going to select top. And then just click on save and send test request. Now when we click on save and send test request, here you will see we will get some response from our Google Sheet. And in this response, you will see the details of the row. You can see all the details of the task which we have added in our Google Sheet with this particular task ID, the same task ID which we have received from ClickUp in the trigger step. So here you can see the row index. The row number is 2. So here guys, what we have done, we have received this task ID of the updated task. Means the task with this ID was updated in our ClickUp account. And we have this task ID in row number 2 in our Google Sheet, as you can see. And here we can see all the other details of the task. So here using this step of lookup spreadsheet row, you can see in the response, we have the row number of the task which was updated. Then you can see the task ID. You can see all the details of the task which we have added in this particular row. You can see the same task name, new meeting, integration setup with test. Here you can see the same description of the task, same start date, same end date, and also the same status. So in this way, you can see that we have successfully searched for this task in our Google Sheet. Now what we want to do, we want to update the status of this task in this Google Sheet. We want to update the status over here. So what we are going to do, we are going to use another Google Sheet step. And in that step, whatever task we are going to get, whatever updated task we are going to get from our ClickUp account in the trigger window, we are going to update this task status over there. Now for this, just scroll down and click on this add action step button over here. And once again, here in this action step in choose app, we are going to search for Google Sheets. Just select it. After selecting Google Sheets, in action event from the drop down, this time we have to select the action event as update cell value because we want to update the value of a cell in our Google Sheet. So we are going to select this action event over here. Then just click on connect. And because we have connected our Google Sheets account with Pabbly Connect in the previous step, we don't have to make a new connection once again. You can select the existing connection and click on save over here. After this, the first thing it asks us is to select spreadsheet. So from this drop down, we are going to select the same spreadsheet in which we have added the details of the task and also the same sheet over here. Then it is asking us for the range. That what is the range of the cell in which we want to update the details. So we want to update the status of the task in the status column, and we have the status in column F in our Google Sheet. So we are going to enter the range as column F, but after F, we also have to mention the row number over here. And for every different task update, we will get a different row number over here. So here in this range section, you can see the range of each row, each task is different for status in this Google Sheet. So what we can do, we have basically received the row index of the row or the row number in which we have the task details which was updated in ClickUp. So from this responses of the previous step, we are going to map this response of row index over here in this range field. Just click here and from the drop down from Google Sheet responses, select the response of row index and it will be mapped over here. After entering the range, the next thing it asks us is the value. That what is the value that we want to update. So we want to update the current status of the task in ClickUp which we have. So we have received the after status of the task and we have to update this task status in our Google Sheet. So we are going to map this response of send assessment over here. We will just scroll down, click here and from the drop down from ClickUp responses, select the response of send assessment. And after mapping these details guys, just click on save and send test request. Now when we click on save and send test request, here you can see that we have received a response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the value which we have mapped over here, this value is updated in this range in our Google Sheet. So let's check it. We will go to our Google Sheet and yes guys, now you can see that the status of the same task which was updated in ClickUp is also updated in our Google Sheet. You can see send assessment as the current status over here. This means the automation workflow which we have created in this video using Pabbly Connect, this automation is working perfectly fine. And using this automation, whenever a task is updated in a ClickUp account, the task status will be updated automatically. The status of the same task will also be updated in our Google Sheet. Now after setting up this automation, let's test this automation workflow once. Here you can see I have another task in my Google Sheet by the name of MailChimp integration, which has the current status as in progress. So here in my ClickUp account, let's change the status of this task. So here under in progress, you can see this task as MailChimp integration. I'm just going to update the status of this task as, for example, call booked. And it is done. Just now the status is changed. And we will see as we change the status of a task in our ClickUp account, instantly within seconds, the status of the task will also be updated in Google Sheets. So we'll go to Google Sheet, and yes, here you can see that just in seconds, earlier it was in progress, but now it has updated to call booked. This means the automation workflow which we have created in this video is working perfectly fine. So not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications with Pabbly Connect. And guys, one more important thing. You will find the clone link of this exact same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can actually clone this same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this automation workflow for free. Also, let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can do it for absolutely free.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can post them on forum.pabbly.com. So if this video was helpful to you, you can obviously like this video, comment down to your suggestion, and don't forget to share it with others. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.